Hello, future RTs. Here's your daily RT. Today we're gonna be discussing about applied anatomy and physiology. Honestly, for this topic, you can have I don't know if we're gonna have 3 or 4 parts videos. I'm making it short so that I don't want to put a lot of information, but I'm just focusing on the information that for me is useful. That was useful for me in my first semester respiratory care program. Okay, so before we begin, please don't forget to like the video, comment. I would like to hear from you. Also, subscribe and hit the bell to get the other parts. Alright, so let's start with the heart. Okay, so the respiratory system is a unique organ that receives double blood supply. One from the left ventricle and one from the right ventricle. The right heart supplies blood flow to the pulmonary circulation, and the left heart supplies a smaller amount of flow, about 1 to 2% of cardiac output, to the bronchial arteries, which arise from the aorta and supply oxygenated blood to the tracheobronchial tree. The bronchial arteries supply oxygen to the airway tissue, blood vessels, nerves, lymphatics, and visceral pleura. All oxygen is also directly absorbed across the airway lumen. Although the pulmonary and bronchial circulation have entirely different origins, the they mix and supply blood flow to the microcirculation of the alveoli. This provides some collateral circulation and allows the shunting of the blood. Okay, lymphatic vessels. Lymphatic vessels are located in the connective tissue tract of the lungs, surround the bronchi bronchialis, blood vessels, nerves, and pleural membrane. They play a central role in controlling fluid and protein balance within the lung and house various defensive cells. Fluid collected from the pleural space interstitial is carried by the pleural capillaries and vessels through the lymphatic system back to the root of the back to the root of the lung, which is known the hilum, where numerous lymph nodes are located. Okay, so neuronal centers, which is medulla oblongata and pons. And this is a picture. And I like to learn in pictures, so I like to post pictures here that might help you guys. So let's continue talking about the medulla oblongata and pons. Alright, so the medulla oblongata and the pons form the automatic control of breathing. They are known as the neurocentrals in the brainstem. So this is very important for you guys, future RTs, to notice that our neuronal centers breathing are controlled by the medulla oblongata and the pons. Alright, respiratory system. The phrenic and intercostal nerves are primarily components of the somatic motor nervous system that carries nerve signals to the respiratory muscles from the brainstem. They innervate the diaphragm, which is caused by a signal of the phrenic nerve, and the intercostal muscles, which are activated by the intercostal nerves. These muscles are primarily responsible for expanding the thorax during inspiration and allowing exhalation by relaxing, letting the thorax and the lungs recoil back to their pre-inspiratory position. Okay, this is a picture. As you can see what's in yellow. The phrenic nerve runs from the C2, C3, C4, 5 down to the diaphragm, which causes it to contract, letting the person know telling the person to breathe. In this other picture, you can see the intercostal nerves, which are surrounded by close to the intercostal muscles of the ribs. Okay, so this is thorax during inhalation and exhalation. It's very important to know the breathing process. So when we inspire, air is drawn down into the lungs by a negative pressure that is created in the thorax. The diaphragm contracts and the rib cage moves out. And when we exhale, the air is forced out and the rib cage moves inward, depressing when the diaphragm also relaxes and goes back to its position and causes exhalation of the carbon dioxide. Okay, this is another picture. If you would like to see it more in detail. Alright, more pictures. As you can see here, this is a good picture. When air is coming in, the rib cage moves up and out. The external intercostal muscles contract. The diaphragm contracts and moves down. And pressure in the lung decreases and the air comes running in. And this is a picture how the diaphragm contracts going down. You can see the pleural between the viscera and the parietal. And over here, there's another picture when the air is going out, when we exhale. So the rib cage, as you can see, it closes down. The rib cage moves down and in. The diaphragm relaxes, going back to its position up, closer to the lungs. And the pressure in the lungs increases, and the air is pushed out to your upper airway through your mouth. Okay. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the continuation of this series. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's gonna take 3 or 4 parts, but keep watching. Leave your comments, subscribe. Again, thank you again for taking the time to see my video, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.